Hi, I'm Natalia Cerezo Martin, your go-to leadership coach. I help women in tech and customer experience lead with clarity, balance, confidence. And today I'm very excited to be talking with my longest standing client, Susanna Baqué. Thank you so much for being here, Susanna. Please give us an intro.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here with you, Natalia. My name is Susanna Baqué. I'm leading customer experience at SciEx, a life science company for more than 10 years now, and been in the industry of life science long enough. And I'm very passionate about customer experience, but also about growth and leadership.
It's been great working with you for all these years. We started to work together in 2021. And ever since I decided to go full time on the business, you have been one of my biggest supporters. So it would be really great to understand what was your situation before working with me and what was one of your biggest challenges?
Yeah, I mean, before working with you, I was still ambitious and committed to grow myself and making a bigger impact in my organization. But very often felt stuck, right? So I was struggling myself alone, battling against like the corporate situations. And I was completely unaware that I could get anyone to help me, right? Until just you came out and you show me that, yeah, I could get some support and not just fight alone.
Mm. It's so interesting because when I was a leader, I found myself also in that situation that you are overwhelmed, you're struggling, and you're like, who do I turn to? Because there is not enough support amongst senior leadership. Everyone else at your level is busy. So having a coach definitely is that accountability person, that cheerleader, but also challenger that allows you to reflect, hold the space for you to be more strategic about what you want to go next. Um, what was the obstacle that would have prevented you from working with me?
Of course, my biggest obstacle was myself, right? Wondering, first of all, if this coaching thing would actually make an impact, but also finding the time in this busy day. So I said, okay, that's what I really need. I didn't have a proof. Then I realized that if I wanted to grow as a leader, even as a person, I needed to invest in myself, not only like doing busy work and working for others and with others, but actually investing in myself. And that coaching was not an extra thing, that was something that was essential that I started doing.
Thank you. And I will always remember that session when we went through your time management and your priorities and what you needed. And that big insight of you are the owner of your own time. And we are the owner of our own time. And we so often forget in favor of others, in favor of being a helpful servant leader that is always there to support the people. And we kind of forget what we need. So we already talked a little bit about the journey, but I would love to hear what results did you achieve as a result of working with me?
Well, I think that's going to be a very long list. But I think, in summary, I reframe any setback as a learning opportunity working with you, right? So, and I remember that pivotal moment when I, as you know, put myself into a VP role that I even kind of created. I went through a lot of interviews with HR, with all the VPs of the company. I didn't get the role at the end, and that was very tough. That was kind of giving me a lot of questioning myself, questioning my leadership, and how can I now move forward with confidence? Yeah, that you helped me to realize that that VP experience didn't define me. That to really move forward and help myself grow was not dependent on having that title or that next position. That I just needed, that I've learned also to navigate through a lot of these executive conversations, that I was more confident that I can influence the organization no matter where I am positioned in the organization. And I think what you helped me also realize, that I didn't need to stress myself just to get the next role. And that gave me so much peace, saying, okay, I can grow in my current role. I can influence more the people. I can have a bigger impact even where I am. So I think that's in essence what you are helping me still to do. And I think that creates that ripple effect, right? That not only strengthens myself, but also my team and any relationships that I have at work.
Thank you for sharing that. And it take me back to memory lane. There is so much that you have achieved and you have grown since that time. Because this is 2 years ago, and you keep going from a strength to a strength, which is one of the things I admire most about you. You're so determined to keep moving forward and not allow the company or the current work or all of the great work that is already in place for you to sit and say, well, is done. You're always looking for new things and to move the industry, but also your company forward, which is amazing. And what were your biggest insight and how have they impacted your life?
For me, the biggest insight is really that everything is about alignment and presence, right? So you really helped me to stay true to myself and to my values, and creating also space for me to grow, but also for others to thrive and have that impact regardless of my position. Yeah, I think that kind of made me completely change the perspective of when I work, but also in life, saying, okay, that's who I am, that's how I do stuff, and I can have an impact no matter what. And I can be courageous and I can be authentic, and that's right. So I don't need to be mimicking anyone else, or yes, or just being the one that everyone expects me to be. So I think for me that was a big insight, learning, and also, as I said, that makes me even happier in life.
One last question for me is I'm a big promoter of the Shine File, that tool that help us to reflect our growth through achievements, big and smalls, and learnings through experiences, but also through failures. And I want to know, how has building your Shine File helped you?
Oh, that's been a big change. And here I have it with me, always next to me, because I like the paper writing, right? So, yeah, I think it gives me not only confidence, but this sense of accomplishment, not accomplishment because I did stuff, but accomplishment because even I struggle something with something and I kind of overcome these barriers, but also it makes me feel like of being proud of myself and not feeling like I'm bragging about me. So I think this is managing that imposter syndrome that you always talk about, right? It's not like you need to eliminate it, but no, just yeah, celebrating whatever I have achieved. And I like it because, of course, I keep track and then I can share with you every month when we meet in our coaching sessions. And yes, as you taught me, when you say, wow, that was well done, I just need to say thank you and not just find excuses of, oh, yeah, that was not so much or whatever. So I think it helps me to put it in the right place. I mean, being, of course, proud, but also making sure that I don't stay at the same level, that I always continue to grow.
And he's not bragging when he's based in facts. That's the important part, right? That we all understand that when you're sharing things that you've done and the learnings, and when you own your failures as part of the cycle of growth, it's just so empowering. And it's super, super important that we continue to build those things. Thank you, Susanna, so much for today. I would ask you, would you recommend working with me? And if so, why?
Absolutely. I mean, it's been so transformational for me. So no matter if you had a coach or you never had a coach for your leadership and your personal growth, I mean, Natalia is the right person to go because you have this rare ability of both challenge and support. So whatever I need, it seems that you find the right balance and you create that safe space to actually open up and pushing me to sometimes possibilities that I didn't even know that I had. So yes, I fully recommend you as a leadership coach for anyone that it's actually serious about growing as a leader, but also as a person. So yes, it's been transformative, and yeah, I'm just gonna continue because this is not something that you do just once and then it's done. I think having this accountability partner, that cheerleader, as you say, this human rebel, yeah, and helping to continuously build that confidence is not something that you just do once. So that's why I've been with you for more than 2 years now.
Thank you so much. I would always say it's my honor and my pleasure to be a witness and a partner in your journey. And I am ever so in awe with all of the work you do on yourself, but also how you support others, how you enable your team, how you are an advocate for equality and diversity, but also you are a super active member of the Women in CX and you support that community. It's my absolute pleasure to work with you. And I would like to thank you for today.